Mike got muted there. How's it going, everybody? Happy Friday. Welcome to our live Q&A. My name is Noah Wickham. I am brand director here at My Amazon Guy, and I am here to answer all of your questions. We do this Q&A every single Friday at 12 Eastern. I am happy to dive into a ton of questions, it looks like, from our chat today so far. Some very quick shout outs. Thank you to Andy, Jeff, and Tim for your donations. We're going to get to you guys' questions first. If you ever want your question answered very quickly, feel free to throw a dono in. So starting off with Tim here, as he was the first one of those. How do I get 50 plus, 100 plus sold this month badge on my product? I've sold 79 this month and sent in a service ticket 3 times. Amazon says they have sent it to their internal team, but no responses yet. Yeah, Tim, this is a completely Amazon decided factor. So not something as a seller you have a ton of control over. It's very similar to when Amazon has the best seller little icon there or Amazon's choice. Those are just icons that Amazon gets to choose how it goes on to the actual product. So at the end of the day, all you can really do is continue increasing sales, and that's going to help. What I have seen as well is that typically they're going to put that on the higher BSR products. So if you start scrolling down much lower in the page, you'll notice that products that even though they're selling, let's say, still 100, 200 a month, aren't having that badge. So usually it's going to be kind of top of search BSR products as well as ones that are meeting that criteria. But unfortunately, as a seller, it's not something you actually have full control over. All right, and then let's go to Andy. Hey, Andy, I added a new product that won't arrive for another 6 weeks, but my listing shows it was available as of last week. Does this mean I'll miss out on the honeymoon period when the stock arrives? I listed it early so I could get the Amazon barcode starting with X, China. Okay, got it. So Andy, when you're listing a product live, so there's difference between it actually being active and out of stock versus the product actually being inactive. If your product is active but out of stock, then yes, it is technically live right now and you may be missing out on that honeymoon period. But typically speaking, if you just see the ASIN page and it is an inactive product at the moment, you shouldn't be missing out until that inventory actually arrives. So until your product is starting to sell, you're not actually going to be really having that BSR of any kind there. So hopefully that helps. What I would suggest as well alongside that is look at having the product just taken down for the time being. Makes sense that you had to get the labels. Plenty of people do it, but until you actually have that inventory there, you should be fine. Awesome, guys. And then let's head on over to Jeff. All right, Jeff, can you review the settings to be sure that Amazon doesn't take my products to sell on Vendor Central? Yeah, this is actually super easy. Let me do this. Let me pull up this real quick for you, Jeff, and we'll go right to it. Here we go. All right. So this is the settings page, Jeff. So you want to go to settings up at the top, then you want to do fulfillment by Amazon. Down here, it'll be allow Amazon to buy my products to sell globally. You want to have this disabled. And then same with the ineligible for allow Amazon to replicate my deal experience globally. So that's going to make it so Amazon does not have the products actually in any of the other marketplaces that you are not selling them on. This also really helps because there can be times where they change certain factors on other marketplaces and it can disrupt your current US listings as well. So absolutely something you want to turn off there. And then to follow up with your questions, you also have if Amazon loses my product, reimburse me for it. Can they then sell the product on VC if they find it, regardless of my settings? Unfortunately, yes. It's rare that happens. Usually they're just going to get rid of the product, right? But unfortunately, they can. What it will be listed under is what's called Amazon Warehouse. So usually Amazon Warehouse is for returns primarily, but it can just be the regular Amazon.com as well. If it's just, them losing a ton of product and then finding and selling it, usually they'll be done within a week or two, right? They're only going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 units and they're trying to recoup their losses essentially. So yes, they can, but typically it's not going to happen if you don't have, a large number of units being lost for some reason. And then if someone is actually working with Vendor Central, how long does it take for Amazon to check in product into Vendor Central? Same as Seller Central. Yeah, it's going to take a couple of days, weeks. It's about the same process. I mean, it's going to the same warehouses at the end of the day, right? So it's a very, very similar process to Seller Central when it comes to checking in. So if someone were to, let's say, send inventory and that's going to take a week to get to the warehouse, it's going to take, at least another few weeks for full inventory to be received by vendor. I personally think that they're a little bit faster than seller at times, just because, again, they have a vested interest in the product actually being sold. Great question, Stark, guys. Thanks again for submitting those. Let's hop on over to Long. I have a child listing to a parent ASIN. I want to move this child listing to a different parent ASIN. What is the best way to do this? Should I delete the child listing in Manage Inventory and use the flat file upload to upload the child SKU to the new parent? This child is FBA. So what you want to do is you want to unparent the parentage, essentially, right? So you want to take the child out. So you can do this a few different ways. The best way to probably do this is probably via flat file. I wouldn't do it necessarily from the actual manage ASIN section. You'll run into some issues there. Typically, I don't like using Amazon's own backend because flat file is going to actually target the area rather than Amazon's backend. You can run problems. So that being said, you want to essentially unparent the product, same situation, delete relist, and then you can relist the product again under that new parent. So what they'll do is same situation with the flat file, where you're just going to do an upload where you're going to take out that child parent variation for the product ASIN. And then when you wait 24 hours for the effects to take place, you can then go back through with another flat file, make it that new parent child variation. So shouldn't have many issues there. Again, I would probably just stick with using flat file for the entire thing to avoid any issues. Great question, though. I love that. Mr. Solo, can we assign 2 browse nodes to a single product from the Seller Central or Seller Support? Yeah, you can. I don't see why you can't. This is usually typical, though, with child variations. It's very difficult to do if you have a single just product, if that's kind of what you're talking about. But there are products that are ranked in multiple different categories all the time, right? So if you have a pretty versatile product, let's say you sell something like a grill spatula, you might be ranked in both outdoors because you're, grilling, cooking, but you also might be ranked in, for instance, what's a great example here? I don't know, kitchen and dining, right? So yes, you absolutely can. It's more typical, like I said, with child variations for a parent, just because you can have 2 children there in completely different browse nodes. But for the most part, yeah, you absolutely can. It's not at the same time, I should say. It's probably the only classifier there. But you can definitely be ranked 2 different places. Let's see. If I have a product in Vine and want to merge it with an existing parent that has already done Vine, will that affect the Vine of the new item? Should I wait for the reviews to finish posting? Yes. Yes, you should. So the best way to utilize Vine, if you're going to be doing it, even for like child ASINs and for parents to get as many reviews as possible, is post every single one of the different child variations before you parent them or anything. So put all of them into Vine, enroll them for however many units you're going to do. Wait for all of the reviews to come through from the Vine program, and then you want to parent everything together. Vine, again, only allows you to put something in one single time. If you try and do Vine with a parent and has a bunch of children, guess what? You only get 30. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. They don't do it by child, even if it's a parent situation. So you want to make sure that every single one of the child variations is not a part of the parentage, and then do Vine and then add them back to the parentage post Vine reviews. That's going to be best way to get the most amount of reviews. Sticks and Bones. Hello, sir. Thoughts on getting review AI? Does that violate insert card violations? If you're talking specifically about reviews.ai, I don't see a huge point to it. If you're talking about getting a review software like Helium's review software, Merchant Springs, anything like that, you can absolutely do that. That's totally fine. But review AI, I'm not positive if that's a specific service or not. I can look it up here. Yeah, I know Reviews AI, but I don't know anything past that. Reviews AI, I wouldn't really typically recommend for Amazon sellers at all because, yeah, you're going to run into a bunch of issues there. But if we're just talking like Review AI software, I see no issues there. Past that, how do I keep my friends on Facebook, Insta to not leave a review if they choose to buy my product? I have a vast network of friends, and I don't know how I control who buys my product and who leaves a review. Spouses and family can be the Prime Amazon member, and I won't be able to recognize who the buyer is. What do I do in that situation? Because my Facebook friend will be in their account. So reviews from family and friends on Amazon. This is a really, really good topic because I think it's so misunderstood. The terms of service for Amazon specifically state you are not allowed to get review generation from friends and family. Now, what is considered review generation is really kind of the kicker there. And this is more of a gray area within Amazon. If you are promoting where you are essentially giving the product to them, where they are purchasing it, you are paying for it in some way, shape, or form, and then Amazon finds out that you're doing that, and they see a post from you that says, hey, everyone, go to my product and review my product, please. Give it 5 stars only. That's review manipulation and generation from friends and family. Don't do that. I think it's a bad idea. But if you are just posting your product out there, you have a lot of friends and family. You're like, hey, I have this new business, this new product that is launched. Go check it out. If people buy it and then they review it for you, as long as they don't say, hey, so-and-so is a friend of mine, this is a great product, keep that away. That's going to be your best bet at the end of the day, but it's not something you can always necessarily avoid. I mean, if people who had friends and family not ever buy their product on Amazon, then there would be so many Amazon brands that never even launched off the ground, to be fair. So it's not a huge worry at the end of the day. Just make sure that you're not obviously manipulating and just getting a ton of people to come in all at once, purchase, and leave 5 stars and say, oh, great, great, great. That's all. Let's see. Does anyone know how to add a product to the My Product on the dashboard part of Helium 10? Yeah, you just have to add the ASIN in. Fairly simple as a little add products there for My Products. You have to link your Amazon Seller Central account to your Helium account. From there as well, you can then essentially say, hey, this is my ASIN, and track that ASIN as my product. Pretty simple. Cheers, Mag. Yes, cheers, Mag. Let's see. How do we get approved for premium A+ content? I have a brand story connected with all of my active products and have posted over 30 A+ content accepted. For premium? Oh, so premium A+ content is strictly just from a sales velocity standpoint, right? So you have to have a certain amount of sales velocity. That's all it is. You can also submit seller support tickets. So if you think that you are about at the point where premium makes sense, you can submit those tickets to try and get that actively added faster. So that's what I'd probably suggest there. Premium is definitely something that if you have access to, you should be utilizing. If you don't have access to, just submit to Amazon. Say, hey, I'd like access to Premium A+. Sometimes you'll get denied. Other times they'll be like, sure, here you go. Best way to go about it. Let's see. Can I have my hang tag that has a QR code that thanks buyers and offers them an Amazon gift card? They get sent to my website, enter their info, and have option to leave a review before proceeding to the gift card. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. This is a very, very, very like cut and dry prime example of one, Amazon's going to view this as review manipulation, and 2, you're just going to get taken down. Like this is, if you have anything to do with reviews and gifting of any kind, and especially if it's in the product inserts, yeah, this is absolutely going to get you taken down. Do not do this at all. Let's see. How can I learn the windmill in one day? I don't know what the windmill is, unfortunately. How can I grow my sales? A lot of ways. SEO, PPC, those are typical ones. If you want to get more specific, I can definitely help you. If you wanted to even put an ASIN in, maybe we'll do a little ASIN review here, but it's a pretty broad question. I mean, growing sales just comes down to 1, get a good click-through rate, get good conversion on your product, get your product seen by people. That's usually through advertising and as well having a really, really good main image, and go from there. Let's see. Amazon states to not have incentive for a positive review. So does that mean it's okay for me to ask if they can leave a review or feedback, not directing them to say positive? Yes, you can ask for a review. It's kind of a gray area, technically. You can ask them to review the product as long as you are having them go directly to Amazon to review it. Do not have any mention of if it was a good experience, bad experience, anything like that. Don't have any mention of the gift card that you were just talking about at all in the product. Absolutely, you can ask them for a review on the insert. That's not a problem, but just don't do any of those other things. I know my friends and family are allowed to purchase the product, just not leave a review, correct? Technically, yes. In terms of service, friends and family aren't supposed to leave reviews, but again, it's a very gray area where the likelihood of Amazon taking you down because of that, very minimal. Let's see. I've already tried the delete and relist via flat file and it didn't fix the problem. Very frustrating considering the inventory has already been bought and I already paid for the USPTO trademark. What's the problem? I'm not seeing a previous question here, Dennis. If you want to follow up with what the actual problem is past the delete relist, let me know. Happy to help. Brad, Amazon gave us a notice we can start using manufacturer UPC codes. Awesome, love that. Commingle is not a issue due to transparency. Is this a good idea if our end goal is to have a hybrid account vendor/seller? Yeah, I mean, you can do that if it's not an issue with transparency. Definitely not an issue. But if you also want to just use UPC codes, I absolutely would implore you to. It's just going to save you money at the end of the day. Most people have their UPC codes printed right on product packaging, whereas with the Amazon label, a lot of times that's not going to be printed there. And it's going to be a secondary thing they have to add on, which is add costs, right? So absolutely, I would look at doing UPC codes if you can. There's no issues there. And then from a commingle standpoint, yeah, no big issues. Usually with commingled inventory, even if it's vendor versus seller, I'm not usually that big of a worrier when it comes to it, as long as you don't have major issues with Amazon losing inventory for some reason. Rosina, good to see you back. Have apparel client with 1,200 listed ASINs, but 700 are out of stock. Could this number of out of stock items impact the account health score in any way? IPI is 400. Account health is a little above 225. No. The only way that this is going to affect your account health is, for some reason, all of these products, and it's not even account health, it would be inventory health. If you put 1, 2, 3, 21 units into one product and then another and so on and so forth, that will probably affect your inventory health, but definitely not your account health. You can have as many products that you don't even sell in the Amazon platform as you want. I have worked with sellers who have literally 700,000 listings on Amazon. Of those, they maybe sell 30,000. So absolutely no, it's not going to have any issues. The only issues you will experience is if you start selling any of these products and you start getting dinged for IP complaints, for instance, that will affect your account health. But just the out of stock aspect of them, no issues. Micah, good to see you, sir. In the past, we bought third-party UPCs. It seems like Amazon is having issues with these now because we didn't buy them from the GS1. What is the best practice for fixing this? We have hundreds of SKUs and we do not put UPC on the product packaging. Also, what are the issues that will be caused by not changing these? All right. So there's a few fold here. So one, first and foremost, Amazon is now connected directly into GS1. So if you have a GS1 UPC of any kind, you're fine. Amazon is going to be checking UPCs against the GS1 database though. So I am always going to implore people to use GS1 above any third party ever, just because third party, you have no idea what that UPC is actually labeled as. So that's first and foremost there. Two, when it comes to the issue of you having a ton of different SKUs and trying to figure out where to go with this, what I would probably suggest that you do is look at first and foremost your top sellers. I would change your top sellers if you can. Just make sure you're not going to ruin anything with the listing and do a proper UPC to GS1 change. If you do an improper one, you'll lose all of your ranking and your sales velocity, and it's going to suck. But absolutely, you should change your top ones, the ones that will have the most impact. Now, what's the downside of having these UPCs? Well, you're a little less secure in the product, right? Because it's not the actual product. Two, if your product for some reason has a UPC that is labeled, I don't know, a medication, and Amazon does a check against that UPC and it comes back as a medication, boom, product listing taken down. So typically start at the top. If you have hundreds of SKUs, you're probably like anyone else who has hundreds of SKUs where you have maybe 20 or 30 that make up 80% of all your sales. Start with those ones, get proper GS1, do a proper switch from UPC to GS1. Best way to do that is do a merge with a new listing, and then take that GS1 and have that be the new UPC and go from there. That's going to be my best advice for you, Micah. It sucks, especially with Amazon, but it's also one of those things where it kind of makes sense as to why they're doing it with how many fraudulent areas there are now, and Amazon really cracking down on all the fraud there is. Great question, though. Sticks and bones. If my product is a higher value item in its category, do I still use your pricing strategy of starting at 50% less? At the price, I will be the same price as average competitors instead of below them. So that's a good question, actually. So I guess let me reread that. Pricing strategy. Oh, so you're saying essentially that yours is a premium. I don't want to gouge the price too low that takes away or quality of product becomes questionable. Okay, so you're talking about being a premium product in a category and wanting to have a premium price tag. So the question I'm going to ask you here would be, what makes your product premium? Why does it have that premium price tag? And why is that premium price tag 50% higher than the next highest guy, right? So, which would in theory mean that it's 100% higher from them, right? So, typically speaking, when you're doing this pricing strategy, I'm still going to have the same even though you are a premium product in the category, having that price tag down as low as you do in the beginning is going to help you immensely. And even if it's at the same price as all of those other ones, if you have those premium features that make it worth whatever it is, so if you have to bring it down to $50 when it would normally be $100, if you have premium features that normal $100 competitors have, then you're selling it for $50. That's going to be great for you. The things that I will say to watch out for. I see it a lot of times. People say, "Oh, I have a premium product in a premium category. Everyone else sucks. My product needs to be way higher priced," but they have no actual differentiator. There's nothing that makes their product better. There's nothing that is anything. It's just a price, and it's just some branding, right? So that's the only thing to worry about if you're talking about that with this pricing strategy, because if people find that it is the same quality or worse quality than the people who are 50% lower than what your price will be, then absolutely you're going to have a really, really hard time, but you would have had a hard time even without the pricing strategy. Let's see, Jason. Regarding new inbound placement fees. Ooh, this will be fun. Have you done enough analysis to know if one of the three options Amazon will show will always be the best? And if so, why? I haven't specifically personally done enough analysis, but what I will say is that I'm going to usually say yes. What is always going to be probably your best bet here, at least for right now with inbound placement, is one of two things. One, send your product to AWD beforehand. It's going to be a little bit pricier just to hold it all the time, right? But it'll get away from the inbound placement fee. Or two, send enough inventory in to where inbound placement fee really doesn't matter. You can only do that if you sell enough units, of course, but those are really your two options. Regarding the three options the Amazon shows and if they're best and why, I don't have a specific take here. I haven't dug into it enough to where I can say, oh, yes, this one is the best. But those are the two options that I usually kind of say when it comes to this inbound placement fee, Jason. All right. Let me get some water here, guys. Throat gets dry out here. Throat gets dry and it's raining like all heck outside. All right. I want to I want to always have inventory above the min before getting charged low inventory fee. How do I know what is the min I'm allowed to have before I get charged a fee? Ooh, great question. So I'm actually going to pull up the inventory dashboard for this to kind of give you a little bit of a example here. It looks like, let me find one. There we go. All right. So many of you have probably seen this. This is the FBA inventory dashboard. You can get to this by going to inventory, FBA inventory. So we have a product right here, for instance, one of our older age Sage ones. So you can see we have currently the low stock situation. So two different things here, Sticks and Bones. One, it's going to tell you exactly how many units you need to ship in and the time frame that you need to ship in. Follow this. That's always going to be easiest. Secondly, this recommended min inventory level. You can click on this, you can get some details, and this will give you a lot of information. So this is going to give you everything you need to know about how much you need to be sending in for the product. You can also look at your historical day supply. So this is going to be average daily on hand units and then historical day supply. So this is what is going to give you an idea of what it's going to be. This will also tell you if you're exempt from low inventory fee. That's a very important thing because there are a lot of different types of products that are exempt from this fee. So Amazon just changed the policy, I believe, the other day to where now if you're below 20 units and it's consistently below 20 units, that means that your recommended and average level of product is below 20. It won't be hit with the low inventory fee. So those are some things to take into consideration there, but absolutely just go by what Amazon is telling you to ship in. The reason they have the recommendation is because it's how much they recommend that you have in inventory. This recommended min level is 5. Don't have anything below this. Typically try and do 3 times recommended inventory level for daily inventory minimums, I should say. And then you'll be totally fine. Let's go here. What are best practices for product inserts? I love this question. All right. Best practices for product inserts. First and foremost, do not, and I cannot stress this enough, do not ask them for a positive review in exchange for something. I don't care if this is an extended warranty. I don't care if this is a gift card. I don't care what it is. Do not ask them for a positive review with something in return. That is a clear violation of Amazon's terms of service, and you're going to have issues there. Now, secondly, can you direct people to your website, for instance, and can you direct them off Amazon? Technically a gray area, but yes, you can. You can have your website on there. You can have anything like that. 3, if the person has problems with the product, what do you have? Do you have a customer service phone number and email that you use internally, or where do you direct them? Direct them to Amazon. Absolutely direct them to Amazon. They want all communications with buyers from Amazon going through the Amazon messaging platform. They don't want buyers calling your number. They don't want buyers emailing you. If you have either of those on there, that's a potential situation where you can have issues. Now, that being said, what can you offer in there? You can offer an extended warranty. It just can't be in for a review. So you can't say, hey, you have to review us to get the extended warranty. But Amazon loves extended warranties. Add them in there. If you want to just give them something, add it in there. Put some stickers, something, anything. That's fine. Just nothing regarding the review. And typically try and stay away from putting things like stars on there and putting things like, negatives on there. I don't like any of that stuff. All that stuff is more than likely going to get you deactivated on Amazon. The best way to do a review, just say, hey, liked our product, leave us a review and have a little QR code that goes back to the product for a review. That's all it is. That's simple as possible for a product insert. Again, you can add things like, offering extended warranties and such, but just make sure that they get it just for purchasing the product, etc. Try not to have them call your numbers, anything like that. Jeff, can we add the word Amazon anywhere within our detail page? What might be some circumstances where it would be okay and where it might get me shut down? I wouldn't. I mean, to be honest, you can't really. The only place that you probably could, and this is still a gray area technically, is you can in like the product images. So if you say purchase on Amazon, that's okay. Or Amazon fulfillment, that's okay. Past that, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. It would probably be poor to do that, and more than likely, Amazon's just going to ding you for it. If your product has to do with, for instance, the Amazons, you're probably fine, but it's still not a keyword that really why are you using it, right? That's why I would probably ask is what is the relevancy of you putting Amazon in your actual product? If your product is relevant in some way to Amazon, so for instance, you're selling an Amazon sticker, sure, that's probably fine. But past that, no, I wouldn't do it. Dennis, all right, here we go. I already tried delete relists. Very frustrating. Okay, so same thing. Yeah, Dennis, I mentioned this earlier. I'm not sure what your actual problem is. I mean, are you talking about USPTO trademark? Are you talking about having brand registry issues? I'm not sure on what the actual problem is. If you put down what the problem is, I can help you there. But I need to know what the actual problem is to answer the question. Unfortunately. Hey, how's it going, Jay? Let's see. There is no spot on Helium 10 that says add ASIN. I've looked for 2+ hours last night where to add anything and can't find the spot. Is it right there on the dashboard? Do I need to upgrade my account? All right. Let me open up Helium and we'll go through this. So are you talking specifically for the My product? So have you added? I don't have it on this account, unfortunately, because you have to upgrade your account. So let me do this just so I'm understanding, Romando. Share my screen real quick. I don't have an upgrade account, unfortunately, for this one, so I can't actually get into the My Products. But if you're talking about this section, Romando, what you need to do is you need to connect your Amazon account. So you can just do that by, first off, you have to be upgrade, but secondly, you can just go in, connect your Amazon account. And once you connect your Amazon account, that's going to list your products. So they will add in all of your products. But yes, you do need to have an upgrade version of Helium to actually be able to do that. See, I heard that Amazon pays attention to see if you're friends on Facebook. Amazon does a lot of things. How are they really going to track every single friend you possibly have on Facebook? I would be curious on that. Again, where are they tracking this, right? How are they tracking that you are directly tied to someone else? How do they know what Facebook account is yours if it's not tied to your Seller Central account, right? There's a lot of different questions, variables here, sticks and stones. Again, the big thing, just don't be actively trying to break the rules. Like that is the only real thing you have to be doing in this situation. Again, is yes, against terms of service for them, but you just want to make sure you're not actively going out of your way to try and break the rules and do that. Let's see, Mike. What's the easiest way to get titles updated? Brand registry support for just a product that you own that is brand registry? No, just upload a flat file for the title. Simple as that. I mean, nothing past that. If you're having issues directly working within Amazon's Seller Central, yeah, just use a flat file, do the upload there. If you're having issues where even with like a partial update flat file, it's not working, download the CLR of the product and then upload via flat file again via the template. Do a full upload instead of a partial upload, and that should fix your problem. But if you're having just full issues with title, Seller Central support is probably going to be your person rather than brand registry. Let's see, Jacob. Hey, what's up? Any advices for PPC managements of more than 200K ASIN account? Yeah. Don't, I guess. No, I would say if you have over 200K ASINs, there is no possible chance. And again, I've worked on accounts with 700,000 different ASINs. If there's no possible chance that you need to be advertising against every single ASIN that you possibly have. You have a few options here. The probably best option, if you want to target as much as possible, is have someone spend a couple of days creating, like, I would say 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 plus campaigns that are auto catch-all campaigns. So what that means is setting up, and I actually might be able to show you here on our account, but what that essentially means is setting up a campaign specifically for all products. So let me share this tab and we'll walk through this. So this is a campaign that you should set up for that. Essentially all you do all products, one, Jacob, and then from there what you want to do is you just want to add every single product that's in stock. Just go through, add every single one, because you have, again, and you can just do add all on this page, makes your life a lot easier. We have 1,000, right? We could go through this and do every single one if you want. What I would recommend, since you have over 200K ASINs, I guarantee you don't have every single one in stock, but if you do exactly this, but split it out amongst probably 20, 30, 40, 50 campaigns. I wouldn't put more than 1,000 to 5,000 different ASINs in one campaign at any given time, even if it's this kind of campaign. Past that, you're just going to do auto targeting. You're going to set your bids by group. You're going to knock all of these bids down to somewhere between 15 and 25 cents. Super, super low bids for all of these. And then for your targeting, no negatives. You're going to do down only. You're not going to mess with any of this. And you're just going to launch it. Simple as that. The reason for this is essentially when you're targeting that many ASINs, that's going to be your best way to do all of the products. Past that, I can almost promise you again that you only have, let's say 100, 200, 300, 400 products that make up the vast majority of your sales. Only advertise those products. At the end of the day, there's no way that you have over 200,000 ASINs that every single one is getting multiple sales per day. Romando, I won something on one. I won something on one of other streams you guys did. I can't remember the name of the website where the free course was. Can you direct me, please? I'm not sure. We do have right now for everyone, and let me try and pull this up. If you go to our Mag School courses or Mag courses, we just hit our 2-year for Mag School. And anyone who is interested right now, let me pull this up. Here we go. All right, so share my screen here again. We just hit 2 years on Mag School. It would turn 2. We're giving everyone a free SEO course right now. Go check us out. mag-school.com/courses if you want one. You can also save 50% right now. It's a little promo that we're trying to do. It's going to end sometime before May 22nd. So go in, get your free SEO course, go through, get a 50% off advanced courses. Absolutely. Mag courses are great if you're someone who's even starting or someone who's super advanced. I've helped with some of the questions and everything in the Mag School courses, help build stuff out. So absolutely go through, do Mag School courses, but that's where I would go, Romando, is absolutely go here, get your free course right now. Brad, I use GS1 UK. I get 1,000 codes for $120 a year. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. Brad, it is really, really cheap to actually get them. Shouldn't be an issue. Let's see here. We got Andy with another dono. Is there a way of putting a future launch date when you list a new product? I couldn't see it anywhere. Can I just delete the listing and start again? Yeah, so there is a future launch date. Technically, you have to do it when you're setting up the product, but I wouldn't really worry about that. Again, Andy, your product seems fine. If you want to throw your ASIN down, I'll even look at it and just tell you yes or no as to whether or not you need to delete and start again. But I'm not too worried about the fact of you needing to delete it. Just, throw it in the chat. I'm happy to answer or look at it. Let's see here. We have Javago. I know, as a brand owner, can I sell my branded products, FBA, as well as generic products? Yeah, absolutely you can. No issues whatsoever selling wholesale and brand on the same account. And you can do it as long as you're not trying to pass the wholesale off as your brand. That's where you run into issues. But from the aspect of putting your brand in wholesale on the same account, yeah, no issues. On my social media, can I ask if people who buy our product to post images of the product on my social media page, as long as I'm not directing them to Amazon to do that, correct? Yeah, I mean, you can ask people on Amazon to do that as well. If people want to post an image of your product, that's not an issue whatsoever. Again, it all comes down to the incentive there, right? And you absolutely can push people from your social media page to Amazon. Amazon has an entire program, which I will pull up here real quick, called the Brand Referral Bonus Program. This is a program that if you are not signed up for it, I would highly suggest that you sign up for it. Let's share screen real quick. This is Brand Referral Bonus. You can get here by going to Brands and then Brand Referral Bonus. This is a program where you can submit and get referral tags. You get a 10% off average from every single sale of the fees that Amazon would normally get from you if you direct people from off Amazon sites. So that means social media included there. So absolutely sign up for Brand Referral Bonus. You can push people from social media. You can ask them to post pictures and get people there. You can set up affiliate deals with them. No issues whatsoever there. Susan, Helium, when you're on the dashboard, there's a menu to the left near that bottom menu. Yep. Okay. So adjusted, selected ASINs. Thanks, Susan, for pointing that out to him. I need to get myself an updated Helium login here. We cannot make the suggested change for ASIN because this vendor code does not have contribution for this ASIN. We own trademarks and have brand registry. How can we get contribution? Ooh, Mike, it sounds like your product is on Vendor Central. Are you the one pushing the updates on Vendor Central is the question I would have for you, or is the product being sold by someone else to Vendor Central? When a product is on Vendor Central is the end all be all for updating anything on the product. Amazon has the first and last say, unfortunately, but you can try and push there. So if you have a Vendor Central account, go through and try and make the updates via Vendor Central, not Seller Central, and hope that it can get changed there. So it's the unfortunate part about Vendor Central selling. I'm not a huge fan of that aspect of it. It seems a little crazy to me, especially because if you ever set up Vendor first instead of Seller Central first, Vendor is always going to be the primary contributor to a listing. Marvin. Hi, bro. Just asking. I've been facing this problem since this afternoon. For some reason, I have no idea why every time I put my data to Amazon Seller, it keeps giving me the called too early thing. Would you please help? I am sorry, Marvin. I don't know what called too early is. If you can take a screenshot and send a message to podcast@myamazonguy.com, I'll answer you after the show. I would be more than happy to look at it. I'm not sure what you mean by called too early. Or if, for instance, you have a specific error code that you can shoot over in the chat here, happy to look at that. Nabiel, where can I find the QR code to get them back to Amazon? I don't want to redirect them to my website or a landing page. Nabiel, are you talking about adding an attribution? So QR code is just a way to have people easily scan a link of some kind. So if you're talking specifically about attribution, let me open that up real quick. So if you go into your dashboard for campaign, so advertising, if you go to, I believe, which one is it? Creative tools, maybe? Here it is. There it is. Measurements and reporting. Amazon attribution. So if you go here, you can create a new attribution campaign. This will let you add a new attribution link. You can then turn that attribution link into a QR code if you want and put it onto the insert. So that would be attribution through that, if that's what you're talking about. And we're talking about inserts still. If you're talking about specifically just a QR code to get them back to Amazon, just get the QR or get the link to your product. I mean, it's simple as that. No real issues there. Andy, is it worth doing PPC if you are self-fulfilling? Absolutely. Yeah. The only time PPC is a little iffy is if you're a reseller / wholesaler. since you don't have the necessary authority that you would as a brand owner, and you're not really trying to drive brand growth in any way, right? You're only trying to drive sales. So, but absolutely, if you're doing self-fulfilled or FBM, as many say, yes, you absolutely should still be doing advertising. You're going to have less sales, right, than you would with FBA, just from the aspect of it's not prime and you don't have that prime little badge there. But absolutely, you can definitely do seller fulfilled PPC, no issues. Let's see, sticks and bones. I'm launching one product in total unit of 700 in a high competitive subcategory. First 4 pages are selling over that per month. I can't afford more for first order. What should I expect or prepare for regarding when and how to get next inventory ready so I don't lose my momentum? Should I do air shipping? Ooh. So here's what I would say. One, if by chance, and this is again by chance, you think that you are going to run out of inventory, you have a few options. One, just put a new inventory order in right now. That being said, if you are not actually running out of inventory with the product, because it sounds like you haven't launched the product, yeah, I'm not worried about it. For the air shipping, absolutely. At the end of the day, you have to do a analysis for yourself. If you think that this product is going to be very, very profitable down the line, and you think that you really are going to need the inventory that fast, air shipping takes 2 or 3 days. It'll take another day or two to get to the Amazon facility and start getting checked in, and then you don't run out of stock ever, right? So from that aspect, you just have to do a profitability analysis on yourself. Does it make sense cost-wise to do the air shipping if your product is going to run out of stock? If your product really does run out of stock, so you're saying 700 units and that goes through in the first 2 weeks, then yeah, you probably should be doing air shipping, but you should have a good idea after the first week or two as to where your product is kind of starting to sit when it comes to inventory. Usually it takes about a full month to start getting an understanding of like general forecasting with a product. And past that point, you should already be looking at doing another reorder of a product. Let's see. Ramondo. Okay, Ramondo. Count connected. Still doesn't show up in my product part. Yeah, I think Nabiel had the answer there, right? Where was that? I lost it. Maybe the people on the back end helping me here can find it at some point. But yeah, Ramondo, it seemed like someone else here had the answer there as to where to add that. Hi, Noah. David here. Hey, David. I ran promos to 7 of my ASINs, reducing from $25 to $15. Promo ended 3 days ago, and 2 of my ASINs lost the buy box. And on inventory says lowest $15 match. Any approach? Oh, I hate when this happens. So here is your issue, David, and it's a really kind of crappy one. And the issue is that when you ran that promo ended 3 days ago. Yeah, so you ran that promo long enough to make it so that the average selling price of your product dropped. This is a big issue when you're trying to change pricing of any kind on a product, and especially lower priced items. Just because lower priced items, it's a lot easier to do that. So here's what I'm going to recommend to you. Stick to the $15 and then slowly raise your price up between 8 and 10% every single week. And this is going to be dependent on sales velocity and volume. What you're trying to do here is slowly change what the average price is. So essentially get your product to as high as you can without it losing buy box, and then keep it there, allow the average selling price to get up, and then boom, raise it again. It's unfortunate that Amazon includes promos, things like that as part of this and average selling price in total. I really wish they wouldn't, because we run into these types of problems all the time. It's why I don't recommend people do long-term strike throughs or anything like that, and typically try and stick to shorter windows for anything. But that's probably what I would suggest you do. Your product is going to need that. If you do have the issue, I would check as well under your inventory tab for high pricing errors, because that's probably happening as well. And also just make sure there are no resellers on it. Hope that helps, David. I hate situations like this, but that's going to be a good strategy for you. Not sure if you covered this before, but I have been having some issues with the product condition customer complaints. I used to be able to make a change to the detail page highlighting the would be removed from that ASIN. What it seems is much harder now to get these violations removed. Any tips or advice? The items have no defects, just user error. Unfortunate. Yeah, this another unfortunate thing, and just a problem with selling on Amazon. If your product is difficult to use, you have to assume that the end consumer is dumb as a box of rocks, and if they cannot get an understanding or a basic level competence of the product very quickly, yes, you can face an issue of people saying it's a defect and that the item does not work. There's not a lot recourse that you can do to the actual users who are submitting this in any way, shape, or form. What you can do, however, is a few fold. So if you get like A to Z claims or anything like that, submit that to Amazon and let them know that, like, hey, this is just user error. They can usually solve that problem for you. But from the user side of things, make sure, one, you have correct instructions, very, very clearly labeled for your product as well. Two, add something to your product images and your A+ content. So add a graphic that shows the exact use, how to actually use the product, how to make sure that it's not being used improperly, how to, do anything like that. Address the defects that people are saying the product has. If it truly is user error, then yeah, just add that in as a graphic, make it as visible as possible to the users, and you should be able to solve that problem. Any type of review, anything like that is always something I love getting, even if it's really bad stuff like this where it's user error, because that just helps us better understand the end consumer and how to effectively target and show what they want to see. So hopefully that helps you, Maria. Sticks and bones. But Amazon is saying to ship in 5 days to prevent getting low inventory. How is that possible when China is manufactured? Okay, so sticks and bones, that's not a huge problem. So the ship in 5 days, that's not going to be your biggest problem in the world. What you want to do is you want to create a shipment. If you're going to have certain number of units coming in, just create the shipment now. One, that's going to help you a little bit. But two, this is all about leading. So you want to have a lead time of inventory. If you have, for instance, 700 units right now and you need another 700 in the next 5 days, put up whatever it's going to be for about 3 months of inventory at a time. So if you have a product that is truly selling through that fast, and Amazon thinks that's selling through that fast, you should have about 3 months worth of inventory. If you don't have 3 months worth of inventory, then yeah, you're going to probably run into some issues where Amazon thinks you have a low amount of inventory. But 3 months, 60 to 90 days really is the kind of good area that you want to stay within with this. And make sure you have enough inventory to where you would be good in 60 days if you totally ran out. Let's see. Is it possible to be a seller from Indonesia? Yeah, it is. No issues there. I mean, you just have to set everything up. Depends on where you're going to be selling, I suppose. But yeah, no issues. All right, give me a sec. A little bit more water here, guys. Throat getting dry. All right, let's see here. My insert can be sent to my website to offer warranty. That would mean get their data, but I thought we can't get their extended warranty. All right. So this is how the extended warranty works. You can get the extended warranty and everything, and you can offer it, but you cannot offer it for something, right? So you basically just have to have an extended warranty of some kind for the products. You should have your extended warranty cover all of your products if you're going to have one, right? And so if someone, for instance, breaks something on the product and have it very clearly, they have to send the product back. How do they go about that? They have to reach out to you. How do you know if it's somebody who bought the product? Well, have every single one of your products have a certain code. It's one of the issues with extended warranties, unfortunately. But actually retrieving and getting that review or anything for the extended warranty, that's where you run into gray areas. I'm not too worried about the idea of getting their data. Technically, that is, again, a gray area within that. But just make sure you stay away from the reviews with it. Let's see. Margot. Hi, can we enroll resellers' listings in transparency program? What happened was they were selling in Amazon ahead of us. It's just now that we, the manufacturer and brand owner, would like to sell Amazon. Oh, okay. So I thought your question at first was that you were the reseller and you're trying to enroll in transparency, which the answer would be no. If, for instance, you have someone else, a reseller who created a listing for your product before you were selling it, before anything, but you are the brand owner and that product is now on Amazon, what do you do? Well, you have a few options and a few things you have to kind of do first and foremost. The first one being is that you have to take ownership over any ASIN that they created. And the way to do that is you have to go through brand registry. You have to submit the ASIN. You have to say that you are the rights owner to this brand. And then you have to take over the ASIN. From there, I would take that ASIN. And if you have your own listing of that product, you want to merge those together. That's going to give you all the reviews of that past product that they had. It's also going to allow you to essentially take control of the full product listing. So that's your first step, which is easier said than done, just because that's going to take you a while. It's not an easy process by any means, but that's going to be kind of the first step in this. Secondly, to enroll a listing in transparency is not really a thing. You enroll specific products, and the products are defined by ASINs, right? So you have to enroll an ASIN in transparency and that product in transparency, and that's only going to affect FBA sellers. Keep that in mind. It's only going to affect FBA sellers. If the reseller is FBM, does nothing to them whatsoever. Transparency is just nothing for FBM sellers, unfortunately. But if you are just trying to have transparency with a bunch of FBA sellers and everything, then yes, you can enroll your own brand, any product under your brand in transparency, and that can stop people as long as you're not wholesaling or anything like that. You should have no issues there. So that's kind of your best course of action here. You got to take ownership and control over any listings. Brand registry will be your best friend here. And then from there, merge everything, enroll in transparency if you want. I'm not the biggest fan if you're not having that many issues, but go from there. Sticks and bones. Okay, my insert card, direct them to my link tree. That is my website to get warranty, a link for instruction, and product page that takes them to my YouTube channel and social media links. Yeah, that's much more in line. As long as I don't give incentives or ask for positive reviews. Yeah, that's much more in line. Sticks and bones, absolutely do that. I like that one a lot more than anything else you put, especially the gift card one earlier. David. One more, please. Reference to EBC today. I saw I'm now able to do premium A plus, I would assume. It says 7 modules. So do I have to start from scratch and my new A plus content will overlap, erase the old basic? Yeah. So premium overlaps technically, but no, you can just upload your current one and change it for the premium. So that's all. Premium just allows you extra modules, right? So you can start with your old one as a base, which you just have to upload it into the premium section and then go from there. Edit. Let's see here. Andy, thanks for another $2 there. Let's see. Does Andy have another question there? Here we go. I don't really want to place my product on a public forum right now. How much would you like charge to look at it through Meg? Andy, send it to podcast@myamazonguy.com. More than happy, absolutely, to look at it. Send it over there. I will get to it either sometime end of day today, over the weekend, and get back to you. More than happy to take a look. All right, let's see. Where were we? We were on David. David answered yours. Jeff, regarding the last question, product is a coffee mug that references Amazon. The company probably gets shut down. I remember Steven Pope had some issues with his wording on his Monster brand. Yeah, you're gonna get shut down there, Jeff. I'm sorry, but if your product, and I used earlier when I said if you have a sticker that's Amazon, that's probably fine. I used that as an example, but that very clearly would get IP striked by Amazon. I probably should have mentioned that. I wouldn't do that. I would not have Amazon's logo on a coffee mug. You might be able to get away with like saying Amazon as long as it's like a different font, different everything. I mean, we'll do this as a thought experiment here, Jeff. Let's go to this. Let's do Amazon coffee mug. Let's see if there's any up here right now on Amazon. I don't see any. So I'll just share screen for you, Jeff. I mean, I searched directly Amazon coffee mug, which probably, to be fair, is probably a very, very, very common keyword, right? But I'm not seeing anything with Amazon here, and that's looking up Amazon as the keyword, right? So I I would not suggest it, Jeff, unfortunately. That's a pretty funny one, though. Yeah, Steven did have a lot of issues with his momster, definitely, and this would be something very similar to that. Maria, forgot to mention the ASIN is set up for FBA. Again, Maria, same principle there. Same exact principle. Let's see here. I lost my place, guys. Give me 1 second. Looking through. Here we go. Margot. Is there any other way of converting FBM listings to FBA? Usually when I do it in manage inventory, it doesn't work. Am I doing something wrong? Help. Yeah, you can do this. Absolutely, Margot. Just do the same thing, flat file. So if you don't know how to upload a flat file, we have 1,000,001 different videos here on our YouTube channel, My Amazon Guy. And you can check that out. Absolutely. We have actually, let me pull one up right now. There's one recently that I think I posted. But absolutely, just go to My Amazon Guy YouTube channel right here. Let me just share my screen. Share this tab. There we go. Come here. What you can actually do is you can click on this right here and it'll search through videos. I hate this sus right here, but click this and just do something like flat file. Yeah, we have a ton of different videos on flat files. That's what I would do, Margot, is change it through flat file. FBA should always be done through flat file just because you'll accidentally end up creating, the wrong listing, essentially, if you do it through Amazon's platform. You want to have both the FBM and the FBA. You can only do that through flat file. Abdullah, nowadays, client want to get profitable in 1 month. So what can I do? Make them profitable in 1 month. It's the number one thing at the end of the day. You want to ask the client, what do they want? You want to give it to them. Then you want to ask them, did you get what you want? That's how we do everything here at My Amazon Guy. Margot, if I convert the FBM to FBA listing, will I lose the FBM listing or still retain it? Yeah, you'll lose it technically. So what you want to do again is do it through flat file. That way you can keep the FBM and have an FBA one. That's going to let you essentially always make sure that you're in stock. It's always good to keep like the FBM one with 5 units or something, right, that you have lying around in your warehouse. And then the FBA one, if that's ever out of stock, your product never gets taken down. Viper, is there a proven method to help with organic sales using social media? My ranks are growing with PPC, but I want to drive more sales from other platforms. Yeah, Viper, this is definitely something that I think more and more people are wanting to do, is kind of get off Amazon content going, getting UGC. So what I would suggest is, one, do UGC. So reach out to potential influencers. You can do micro ones if you don't want to spend a lot of money. See if they'll post your product and get an attribution link to have that done. You can also do things like creator connections, which is right within Amazon's own platform. I highly advise that one. Love the creator connections program if you have access to it. Past that as well, grow your own social media and post as much as you can. Follow, post it in different, subreddits, Facebook groups, anything like that. Have attribution links that link back to your product. Mike. Yes, unfortunately, our catalog was added to VC first, and then I moved to Seller. Mike, you gotta log into your VC and change everything there, sir. That's unfortunate. I hate to see it when that happens, but yeah, that's gonna be your bread and butter. VC. VC has the end all be all when it comes to listings, and that's why you're getting that error. So brand registry isn't going to be a huge help to you. Unfortunately, neither is seller support. You gotta log into VC and just change it there. Devin, Margot, you have 2 separate listings, one FBM and one FBA. Yeah, same thing, Devin. There you go. I can't see brand registry options on my child access on my client account. He has given me all access from Seller Central and brand registry, but still can't see it on my child account. When you say child account, do you just mean secondary user account? If so, what I would say is, if you can't see the brand registry, that just means that that secondary user doesn't have the global permission set up. So you want to go to, and I don't even know if I can actually show this right now just because I don't have correct account. Let me see if I have user permissions on this account, guys. I don't, unfortunately, so I'll just share screen and tell you where it is. So you want to go up to your settings, and then usually for an account that has user permissions here, you'll click on user permissions. And then once you're in user permissions, go to the account that you're having issues with, and then go to your global settings, global selling settings, and permissions. You can have it all updated there, and that will usually open up the brand for you. Dennis, still don't know what the problem is, unfortunately, sir. Let's see here. Sticks and bones. If I'm able to have insert direct to my website to get warranty, then when I need to ask for their info, isn't it a violation to retain data from them? How does that work? So when you are asking for info, and again, this is a very gray area. Amazon wants you to get warranty details, but they want you to allow a warranty without technically getting all of the data and contacting the end consumer, right? So all warranty information has to be available when the purchase of the product happens. So if you're putting the actual insert in, you're getting them on their website and getting their data, again, it's a very gray area because it's for the warranty, and so it's technically allowed, but I would just tread carefully. They're sticks and bones. You should just offer the warranty regardless for your product. All right, let's see. Viper. How do I set up Amazon attribution? They have a promotion on branded sales from outside platform. How does this work? Is easy to set up? Can anyone use the links once I generate it? Yeah. So let me do this again, Viper. I just went through this a little bit ago, I think, but I have to sign in here, guys. Give me a second. So there's very, very simple, easy way. Do Amazon attribution. Share my screen again. Come to your advertising console. Go to your measurement, reporting, Amazon attribution. All you do, create a campaign. We'll walk through this. We're going to just do create manually. We're going to look for an external ID. So this is if you have, for instance, like a Pixel ID, you can use that. We're just going to add a product, random product, and then we want to choose the publisher. So who is the publisher if we have one? Is it anyone here? And then sales channel. Are we doing social, video, email, display, so on and so forth? And then from here, it's going to be the click-through. So this is where you want to just grab the ASIN URL. So you'll just grab this URL right here, and then you'll put it here, and there you go. And you can just add new group and create the campaign. Simple as that. And once you create that campaign, Viper, it'll give you an Amazon attribution link. You can have that link anywhere. It's not something that's publicly available unless you make it publicly available to people. So that's what you're worried about. And then from the side of brand referral bonus as well, you can just go there and click generate tags, and it'll do the same exact thing. You can generate a brand referral bonus tag from your attribution link. It's actually the first step when someone wants to be a seller on Amazon. Yeah, Marvin, again, for Indonesia, you just have to have all of the correct data. So you just have to have everything updated and have to have a legal entity, all of that for the platform. No issues though. Been working with sellers from all over the globe for many, many years. Devin, with Amazon PPC, how long does it take for manual keyword targeting to start gaining traction? A couple of days. Typically, you'll get some traction within the first couple of days. You'll at least have knowledge and history for the first couple of days, but full traction of any keyword is going to take time, unfortunately, Devin. But you'll start to see things within a couple of days. Within a week, you should have some good idea of how the keyword's performing, and you can make changes to your bid optimizations. You can start looking at search terms to add, especially since it's manual. But past that, it's going to just take time. That's the biggest thing. The more clicks, the more sales, the more impressions, the more search terms, everything, the longer the campaign is around, the better it's going to perform. So it's a waiting game, unfortunately, but that's how it goes. Let's see here. Having a bad hair day here, guys. There we go. Maz, can you really quickly tell us your experience in the field? Thanks. Yeah. Just so for everyone who doesn't know, my name is Noah Wickham, brand director here at My Amazon Guy. So I have been working in e-commerce for close to 10 years. I actually started when I was young doing flipping on eBay for items. I would go to yard sales, find an item, and flip it on eBay. That slowly rotated into me getting into the Amazon world. I helped build someone else's brand, and then had my own brand there for a while. I've had a couple of brands now, and then I got slowly into consulting and my own agency work. Actually, funny enough. And then from there as well, we went on to build another agency that I'm no longer a part of, and now I'm here at MAG. I've been with MAG for over half a year now. Love every second of it. It's a great team here, and we're here to help you. I'm here to help you. Anything you need. Hope that helps. I'm enjoying doing these live Q&As, so happy to give kind of that explanation of who I am. I have a Shopify store, and I want to activate MCF by Amazon to handle the deliveries. Is this a good model to follow? Is it hard to enable MCF? Not at all. Just download the MCF app on your Shopify, and then you'll have to log into MCF on the Amazon multi-channel fulfillment side. You'll connect it, and then you'll be able to add your products in. You'll link them directly to the Shopify product, and bing, bada, boom. You're now doing it through Amazon MCF. It's actually a super, super good program. I love the MCF program for people that are kind of an Amazon seller who are trying to branch out. It makes it a lot easier for them to do so. And yeah, absolutely. Go for it. If you have any TikTok shop experience, can you advise how to link your Amazon FBA inventory with orders traffic from TikTok's influencer marketing? Yeah, so what you're going to want to do is same thing, Amazon attribution links. So I just went through that a couple of minutes ago, Maz. You also want to create an Amazon attribution link. When someone does their actual influencer marketing, they'll have to do something where it's like the attribution link is in their bio or in their link tree somehow. And they'll post the video, say, hey, go to my link tree to check it out, have the attribution link in the link tree, and there you go. You now have an understanding of, one, how much traffic is actually being sent from that influencer, and then two, you're also just advertising on the TikTok platform. What's Vendor Central? Here we go. Let's do Vendor Central first. Vendor Central. Vendor Central is a program where Amazon buys inventory from brand owners, manufacturers, and sells on the platform. Anytime you've ever purchased a product where it says sold by Amazon, that is a Vendor Central product. It's pretty simple. I personally don't think anyone is going to be getting into Vendor Central anytime soon. From what I know, a lot of people, one, are leaving the platform. And then two, Amazon actually isn't really accepting any more Vendor Central people. You can only really get in if you know a VC rep one-on-one. Pros and cons of Amazon customer service program. Which one? Are you talking like their SAS program? Go for it, I guess. I don't like it personally, just from the aspect of you're paying a lot of money for them to tell you very basic things that you can learn that Amazon themselves usually doesn't know. Their entire kind of thing is, hey, we want you to do the most expensive thing. So for instance, SAS is going to recommend that you do lightning deals a lot. I don't personally like lightning deals. I don't think they're worth the money to actually do them. So I'm not a huge fan of SAS, but I have seen some people get some really good benefits out of it. It's, if you're a really, really, really large seller, I could see maybe some benefit just because you'll probably get a higher SAS rep. But for the average seller, it's probably not worth the actual money. Let's see. Is it okay to contact buyers for FBM orders? I shipped one FBM order that for the last 5 days is not giving an update on tracking except label created. Yeah, absolutely. You should. Amazon allows the feature where you can contact customers preemptively from them contacting you. When you're FBM, Amazon doesn't handle any of the customer service. You absolutely handle all the customer service. So yeah, you should be contacting your seller preemptively to let them know what's going on. Don't contact every single seller that buys a product preemptively, because that will get you your messaging rights revoked. But yeah, you need to contact your buyer. I have Parentage. I want to remove one child ASIN and add it to new Parentage. How to remove one child ASIN in Parentage. So I actually went over this near the beginning. Pearson, I think is. Yeah, Pearson. I went over this, I think, like right near the beginning if you want to just rewind and look at it. But essentially what you'll have to do is you'll have to upload a flat file, put the child and parent in the flat file. You're going to end up taking the child out. So you're going to label it as no longer a child from the parent. So you're going to deparent that item. You're going to wait 24 hours from that standpoint. And then you are going to upload a new flat file that shows the item under that new parentage. Hope that helps. Let's see. I shipped one FBM order that for last 5 days, not giving any update on tracking except label created. What should I do now? Buyer has not contacted me yet, but I want to solve this issue ASAP. Yeah, so again, contact your buyer. Let them know what's going on. Contact your shipping provider. So who did you ship it through? USPS, UPS, etc. Ask them what's going on with it. See if they can investigate. See if the product got lost in somebody's seat somewhere. Do that. If it's not giving you any updates, reship the item. It's the best you can really do, unfortunately. Maria, not a problem. Love to see you here. Margot, I hope you read member messages first. I typically try to. I try and do the way it goes, Margot, is typically I try and do anyone who's done donos first before anything. I don't typically see the member icons super prevalently, unfortunately, in the chat module that I have. So I try to and get them, but for the most part, it's going to be whoever kind of does a dono of any kind. That's going to be my first and foremost. And then from there, just go through the list of everyone who's done everything. Devin, if I'm not in Amazon brand registry, can I get PPC data on the search queries that hit with Amazon with automatic targeting? Yeah. Again, brand registry is. So if you're doing automatic targeting, all you have to do is download your PPC data. So brand registry is just a way that allows us to have a branded product, right? But if you have specific keywords that you're targeting or specific products you're targeting within your automatic targeting, then yeah, you can just download that campaign's data. There's nothing that's going to stop you from that, but you're not going to have access to things like sponsored display and sponsored brands. You can't download any data from those because you can't run those campaigns. Simple as that. Most people said Amazon is dead in 2024. Is it truth? No. Amazon just released that they had their largest year ever, and Q1 had 11.1 or 11.8 billion in advertising spend, which was up 24% from the previous year. I mean, no, Amazon's not dead in the slightest, and it's not going anywhere. Sticks and Bones. I have a friend that is not friends on Facebook. There we go. There's an Amazon seller as well. I actually like their products and have bought 2 or 3 products from their store and left reviews. Can I get in trouble by doing that? We are in the same Facebook group. I just don't want to get them in trouble writing reviews. No, I think you're getting really stuck up, Sticks and Bones, on the the friend review thing. You need to not worry about it as much as you are. It's not as prevalent as I think you think it might be. What Amazon stops with review manipulation is like very clear, blatant review manipulation. They don't want people just, giving out 5-star reviews from 150 different people. They're purchasing it. They can see and track all of that. That's what they're trying to stop, is review manipulation. You're not going to get someone in trouble, and you're not going to get in trouble for buying a product that you enjoy buying and reading or leaving a review. Any other way of getting organic sales aside from making adjustments to listing via Amazon and using social media affiliates and influencers? Yeah, I mean, your biggest thing is always going to be conversion rate and conversion click-through rate. So make sure that your product is updated. Make sure that you are trying to have the best click-through rate possible. Do a great main image. Make sure that you are price competitive. Price is the number one converting factor on Amazon. So always make sure you are price competitive. Past that, I mean, there's a lot of different ways when it comes to getting organic. You've made a lot of adjustments there. So keyword ranking is and be your best friend with organic sales. Make sure that whatever keyword you're trying to target is, the most relevant it can be, and you're actually targeting it with your advertising. The best thing to look at is ACoS is not your leading factor in any form of trying to get, something added. Your leading factor should always be tacos. So tacos, if you keep a 10% tacos, let's say, but your ACoS keeps rising and rising and rising, guess what? That just means that your organic sales are growing while you continue to spend money on advertising. So always look at your tacos when it comes to advertising and make sure that you keep a very consistent tacos compared to ACoS. Let's see here. Sticks and Bones again. we're going to call it here in just a couple of minutes here, guys. So if you have any final questions, let's throw them in. It'll be my first Xmas Amazon based on the inventory info I have. How do I prepare for Xmas fourth quarter since fees are astronomical? Getting merch in July if I'm preparing 3-4 months ahead of time for next inventory. Then how will I prepare for Xmas considering delivered fourth quarter? We'll talk about transparency in a second, but send your products in as early as possible at the end of the third quarter, way before fourth quarter if you can, and just you're going to have a lot better time dealing with the extra fees from inventory fees and things like that than you will being out of stock for Xmas or having astronomical fees attached for sending product in too late. So just send it in early. Send in product early. Make sure you have a couple months worth of inventory prep for whatever you think Christmas is going to have. The best possible scenario is that you over prepare, I suppose, right? So go that way. Transparency program. I will cover this one really fast, guys, just because I think not everyone knows it. And let's see. I'm going to share my screen here. If you go down to brands, you should have build your brand with transparency. Transparency is a program in which essentially you add a specific transparency code to every single one of your products. You have to buy these codes. It's an extra cost, FYI. But essentially, transparency program makes it so that you can choose who actually has selling rights to your product. It helps with resellers on FBA a lot. Also makes it so that people can actually trust your product. They can scan the transparency code, get all the product info, videos, everything about it, and any manufacturing date and data. So something to look into. I'm not the biggest fan of the program as a whole. I just think it kind of misses the mark on what it's supposed to be doing, but that's just me. When asking for feedback to be removed for whatever reason, does the buyer receive notification that feedback has been removed? Yeah, you have a little thing where it'll tell you right in that same section. It'll tell you feedback has been removed, or Amazon will reply to it as well. Do you have any suggestions about a safety claim being denied? We are submitting the claim where Amazon initiate the refund, thus the buyer returned the wrong item, not our product. Any idea about this? Yeah, you just have to submit again. An appeal for it, show that the buyer submitted the wrong product. You have to show the tracking for the product. A really, really good way to do this. What was the weight of the product that you sent out? If you have that on the shipping label, for instance, on the initial order, that's good. And then what was the weight of the product that came back? That should also be on a shipping label. And that's going to be your best bet there. All right. Hey, everyone in chat, see my messages because for some reason Noah keeps skipping them. I'm not Dennis, I'm not skipping. I see you. I'm just not sure what you're asking. I keep going to them, everything. I just I'm not sure what you're asking here because you're not actually telling me what. See the delete relist, I understand that. But Dennis, if I'm not getting to it or anything today, feel free to send a message again to podcastmyamazonguy.com. I'll answer you one-on-one. More than happy to. All right, guys, I'm gonna answer a couple more questions here, and then we're gonna call it here today. So let's go to. Here we go. Is there a reason why? Oh, before we go to this, Mike, Dennis, just to let you know, I don't see anything above this is my problem. So whatever you're sending there, I don't see that message if there was one above it. Mike, is there a reason why 50% or more of my vendor central cases get handed off to seller support? Yeah. So seller support is the primary team that just deals with selling on Amazon. So when you have a vendor central case, a lot of what they're just going to deal with is anything on vendor central. So even though, yes, vendor central is the end all be all when it comes to, let's say, updating the listing or anything like that, they're still just going to try and pass you off to seller support because of the fact that you're not currently selling on vendor central. So vendor central is much more utilized for people currently selling on it, one, and then two, on top of that, for specific vendor central issues. Whereas if it's something where a product is being sold on seller central now, they consider that to be a seller central issue. So best way is to open two cases at once, vendor central and seller central, and then just keep telling them about each other with case ID numbers, and that way they can't hide from it. Let's see. Maz, Love it. Love to see it. Let's see here. How to get attribution link and career connection link. So I went through the attribution link already, sticks and bones. And then for career connections, that's a separate section under the advertising. You can go branded content for that. If you don't see it there, submit a case in Seller Central or to seller support, and they can get you access to it. It's still technically in beta right now, even though they say it's not, but either way. Andy. Yeah, not a problem, sir. Happy to help. Happy to help. All right, guys. Let me see here. A few other questions. Let's do Pearson. Is there a way to find out my overall CTR, organic and PPC? Because PPC is only ads clicks. Yeah, so you can find the PPC one, right? And then from there as well, I would also look at your store, so your brand store analytics. And then as well, you can look at under your actual report. So if you go to, and I can't show this section, unfortunately, but if you go to your business reports, you can start to look at sales and traffic and then detail page sales and traffic. And that's going to give you understanding essentially, Pearson, of where people are clicking. So that's where I would probably go for all of that information to get a more true understanding when it comes to both the organic and PPC side. Let's see. Can branded referrals work with my Shopify store? Yes, they can. And I definitely say do it. You have two options there. Do MCF, buy with Prime, or branded referrals. Those all will go back to Amazon in some way, shape, or form, but absolutely do that. Awesome. All right. So I got to hop here, guys. So we're going to call it there for today. Just a little quick outro here for everyone. Again, my name is Noah Wickham. I'm a brand director here at My Amazon Guy. And who is My Amazon Guy? Well, we are a full service marketing and PPC agency. We do everything on Amazon you can possibly imagine. We do design, troubleshooting, everything in between. If you're curious on all of our services, you can go here. We do full service management. That's pretty much all it is. Past that as well, we also have courses. If you're curious, you can check out all of our courses. Go through them. They have everything from beginner level stuff to very, very, very advanced stuff. So go through our courses. If you're looking for a job, we have careers. We have jobs all over the place. If you have no experience whatsoever, guess what? We have a paid internship program for most of our roles. So whether you want to be an Amazon specialist or you want to be a brand manager, we have paid internships. Check out that. Go there. If you ever want to do, for instance, coaching, you can schedule a one-on-one coaching session with myself. I am more than happy to do all of them. I do several, I think 5 to 10 coaching calls per week. More than happy to do them. So I love doing this and those as well. So check that out. And yeah, past that, we are My Amazon Guy, and my name is Noah, and I will be back next Friday at 12 Eastern to answer more questions. If there's any question I did not get to today, send them on over to podcast@myamazonguy.com, and looking forward to seeing you guys next week.